Yes, we are ready to go. Hi, welcome to my daily broadcast. My name is Barry Selby. Welcome to Messages from the Masculine number 95. Are men patient enough? And I had about 3 different ways of going with that, but I'm leaving it succinct to get this message out there. So, it's a late broadcast today because I've been out playing all day at my friend's birthday celebration at the beach and then at a restaurant. And this came up a couple of times in conversation, so I'll explain first of all my interaction with what happened and then explain what I'm going to get to in this particular topic. Before I do that, let me give my formal introduction. My name is Barry Selby. I'm a best-selling author, speaker, and relationship attraction expert helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. I'm also a passionate champion for the divine feminine. Happy Labor Day, by the way, if that's what you've been doing today. This topic, this theme I'm going to speak about may be a little bit of a side angle, but let me start with where I was today in a couple of conversations with women at the birthday party, at the beach, and at the restaurant. That got me thinking about there's a bigger topic. So let's erase the mystery and tell you what I'm talking about. I've been single for 10 years, basically. I've dated a little bit along the way, but I've been single for 10 years since my last breakup. That was the big transformation experience that shifted me where I'm going now. And 3 different women today, 3 different women asked me, because of the work I do about relationships, helping women get what they want, how do I live my own teaching, am I in a relationship, all that sort of questions. And I said, no, I've been single for 10 years. And I went on to explain why, which I'll do here so you'll know what I'm talking about. And then I'll get to what I think about with men being patient enough. Maybe I've been over-exaggerating by 10 years being patient, but I'll get to that in a moment. I've been single for 10 years, partly because I had to get my life in order. I was doing relationship as a primary focus, and I've shared this before, but I'll say it here again, that we men have to get our priorities straight. To be an authentic masculine, or I should say, to embody the authentic masculine for us men, our primary focus has to be first our purpose, mission, legacy, direction in life. And then secondarily, we can then have a healthy relationship. If we do the other way around, and if our relationship is not our purpose, because it can be, but usually it's not, if our relationship becomes our primary focus before our purpose, it will not work. And I've proven that myself 3 times, and broken up 3 times because of it. So part of what I was clear about after I started getting through this journey of understanding the polarity dance of masculine and feminine, all the work I've been studying, and also about teaching it, is I had to get really clear, one, about what my mission and purpose was, which is to teach this and express this in the work I do. But secondly, that I must own this in my life. I must embrace and live my work in the world fully before it's possible for me to have a healthy relationship. And it became evidently clear when I tried it as a false start a couple of times during this last 10-year period. So I've now become clear and owned the fact that I'm not choosing a relationship until 2 things happen. One of which has already happened, which is I'm owning my work and mission in the world in a strong way that is now, it's my DNA. I mean, if you're watching my Facebook Lives, these are every day now. So this is not a, it's not a flash in the pan. This is my life's work. This is my mission that I'm living, expressing and teaching, which is wonderful and fulfilling. The second thing is that because of the work I do, it's not easy to date just anybody. To be really honest about this and being totally transparent and vulnerable, my work calls me to meet women where they are. And unless she, or I should say, when she is someone who I'm helping through this journey, who's starting out this journey, doesn't understand the masculine and feminine piece in her work, maybe listens too much in the masculine, wants support and understanding of feminine gifts and power, which I help teach, I can't date a woman like that because it'd be inappropriate, and if she's my client, but secondly, if she hasn't done this work, the temptation to help her would be almost overpowering, overwhelming for me, and I can't do that either. So my ownership for myself, my lesson for myself is that any woman I meet, doesn't matter how great the chemistry is, if she is someone who I can help with my services, then she's a client. Which means my dating pool is shrinking, to be honest. And in that context, my dating pool means that who I'm looking for is someone who does this work with me. I've become very clear about that within the last 1.5 years or so. that my partner in life and partner in love will be the same person. That she will be dancing this masculine feminine dance with me personally, intimately, and romantically, and sexually, and also in business and life and work we do together. Which is awesome. It also means that there aren't many women out there who do this, which is not saying I'm like, anybody out there? It's not like that. But the recognition I want to talk to, which is why I'm doing this broadcast tonight, is I had to learn how to be patient. One, because I had to learn to define what my purpose was, because at the beginning of this, when I'm starting to do this work and understanding it, I was like desperate to get back in a relationship. I was like, I've got these skills, I want to go practice them now. And the reality was not appropriate and not aligned either, because I've been in the same thing I'd done before. Regardless of what I'd learned, I wasn't living my work. I wasn't living my purpose. So any relationship I would get into would be just like the last three that I broke up in. Not good. The second piece of that is the recognition that I had to spend enough time embodying, embracing, and expressing my purpose so that I own it, the world recognizes it, and those around me know what I'm about and do not have any doubts about it. It's almost like being so confident and clear in what I do, not out of braggadocio. What's it, braggadocio is the word I'm looking for? Not out of ego, like, look at me, I'm doing this. It's more about they know they can rely on me. I'm solid in this work. And for any man who's owning his purpose, that's got to be a core value he owns. And it takes time. And some men are not yet patient enough to own what they're about in the world, to really clarify their purpose, which may be something that is deeper than you imagine, before they start courting relationship. Because a lot of us men have desires and yearnings to be sexually fulfilled, to be in romantic relationships, to have that partnership, to wake up somebody, all these things we want, and it'll override any other choice. And it's an impatience thing, I believe. Because for those of us who really step into this work, who step into the work of knowing why we're here, the men who are owning their masculine mission, purpose, vision, whatever you want to call that, must make that our priority for as long as it takes, to become our reason for being, our MO, our reason for being in our mission. It's like once we know why we're here, and we live it, and we own it, then we can handle a relationship to that. This actually originates from David Data's teachings we studied. David Data talks about this actually in The Way of the Superior Man, chapter 7. Yes, I know the chapter. A man's purpose must come before his relationship. It sounded so trite when I read it, but the more I started exploring and experimenting with this, I realized how true it was. It was a surprisingly subtle teaching, but it was the like total paradigm shift for me in my life. And I'm so grateful for that. In fact, sorry, I have to do this one. It comes up. One of my friends, dear friends of mine who I know from my spiritual teachings, is a sign language interpreter for American Sign Language. And she said basically that the sign language for a paradigm shift, which I love, is this. It's this to this. And I love that visual because that's the feeling it was. It was like total switch around of my understanding of what I was about, why I was here. So that key for every man, if men haven't got this clear in their lives and own this in their lives, you must do the work, discover your why, discover what you're about, discover what drives you, and then live it in the world. If you're already in a relationship and you haven't done this, get on it now, because you want to sustain your relationship in a healthy way by building a purpose up, which will then support your relationship. It's a dance that works. If you're not in a relationship, this is the best time to do the work to find your purpose. Now, ladies, if you're watching this, this is true for you to know as well, that any man that you are being courted by, being dated by, his presentation, his way of being, must include a resonance, an alignment to his mission and purpose. He may not be making tons of money at it yet. He may not be even a money maker. It might be a service focus. But if he's aligned with it and you can feel it, then you can trust him. If he's aligned with it and you can feel it, there's a solidity and a groundedness that you will appreciate. Now, this is for the men. As I'm talking about this for men, for women to understand how men can be and how they're not. So I hope this makes sense to you. For the ladies, you may be asking, what about me? What about my purpose? And I've said this before, and I'm still trying to find a way to make it more impactful, but the truth is really simple. You ladies have a big advantage over us men. We men are really good at one thing at a time. Sequential, linear, directional in our focus. That's what we're so strong at. It's also our downfall. That's why when you talk to us and watching TV, we can't hear a word you're saying because we're going to focus on one thing at a time. Just being joking, but it's the truth. So purpose first, then relationship. You ladies, however, have an advantage over us men. Is in the feminine alignment you have this ability to basically multitask. Alison Armstrong, one of my teachers, talks about how women have what's called diffuse awareness. And it's actually been shown physiologically that you ladies actually have wider peripheral vision than we do as men. It's in your DNA, it's built in to your bodies. It means basically you have the ability to multitask in a way that we can't easily do. It's doable but not easy. But for you ladies it comes more naturally. So for you ladies, yes, purpose is important for you too. Every one of us on the planet has a reason for being here, a purpose, a mission, a direction. By you having clarity on what it is, that's great. The gift you have is the ability to entertain other parts of life at the same time. As you're figuring out your purpose, you can be also figuring out your relationships. So ladies, you have the advantage over us men that you can be checking out what that is and discovering what your purpose in the world is whilst you're in a relationship, whilst you're courting and meeting somebody and being pursued by a man. It's okay to do that. But for we men, it's really hard for us to do both at one time. And so purpose must come priority focus first, owning why we're here, what we're about, and then we can court the ladies. We can appreciate relationship more powerfully, more effectively, and it won't derail us. Now, one of the little subtleties of this is that we men can feel fulfilled by our purpose alone. As in, if we're doing our real work in the world, a relationship is additive but not replacing it. So we don't need a relationship ultimately. Ooh, is that sort of heresy to say that? But the truth is that our job, our purpose as men is to live our purpose fulfilled in life. That's our goal in life, to arrive at the end of life fulfilled, succeeding, and having done our destiny, our legacy in the world. Our relationship is absolutely desired, let me be clear about this, but not necessary. We don't need a relationship to thrive in the world, but it sure makes life more fun. So hopefully the men and women watching this can hear this. I'm making the point that we both have that ability. So I'm not going to recap any of this. I'm just going to see what else is coming forward. So if you just joined the broadcast late, please go back and watch from the beginning. I covered some deeper stuff that might be provocative to you. What else? There's a piece in there I was thinking of. What was it? So to answer what I said, to PS what I said at the beginning about myself, I'm in the place where I'm ready for that, but I'm also not rushing into it. And if you watch from the beginning, you know what I mean. If you're watching now, too late, you missed it. If you go back and watch from the beginning. It's clear that we have reason to be here, all of us, men and women. But for men, being patient enough to spend the time to focus on our why we're on the planet, what we're about first, and then have a relationship, is a much healthier way to have a long-term relationship that's solid, stable, and growth-oriented, versus someone that we're going to end up blaming because we don't have what we're clear about. Midlife crisis for men, I would suggest, is largely because the men who have midlife crisis don't know why they're here. They may have done a job for 20 years, that was a job they took out of high school or out of college, and they're just doing it because that's what the next thing to do. But they're not feeling fulfilled by it. That's why they go buy a sports car or a convertible or cheat on their wife or get a divorce and all those things. I strongly suspect, not proof, but I strongly suspect that these men are not clear about why they're here. So their choice to change their life as a distraction, red sports car, convertible, cheating on their wife, divorcing, all these things, is because they never owned why they're here in the first place. And I see you on the broadcast, by the way. I'm seeing friends show up in the broadcast. So for you ladies, if you're with a relationship with a man who's especially if he's approaching that mid-40s, that midlife crisis time frame, just make sure you give him a swift kick in the butt to get him clear about focusing on his purpose as well. As I mentioned, if he's already in a relationship with you, he can focus on his purpose now. But don't wait too long, because a man who's driven by purpose can hold the space for a fulfilled relationship with a woman. If he doesn't have a purpose that's really clear, it's going to be hard to maintain long-term relationships. I proved this myself. And many of you ladies out there have had relationships, marriages with men who didn't know what it was for, and then lost out because he didn't have clarity why he was here. Our purpose drives us. When we have that clear, a relationship with you is easy by comparison. Easy in the sense that we can commit to it, we can dance with you, and we can embrace the relationship in a healthy way. But if we don't have purpose, clarity, then it's going to be hard to have a relationship because we put that weight onto our partner, onto you, ladies, because we don't feel fulfilled in ourselves. Not going to work. That's so destructive to the relationship. So this may be a whole teaching in this piece that's coming up now, is this the realization about midlife crisis for men, about not being clear. It's a yearning or a cry out to know what our purpose is. But most men don't know what it is. They don't hear that. They just feel this yearning for something different, anything different, and they choose that accordingly. Whereas being clear, you're welcome, being clear that if that yearning comes up, if that calling comes up, it means you don't know what your purpose is. It's for men. Then go seek guidance, get support, get clarity. Whatever it is for you, works for you. So you can go out there and find out what your why is. So how does purposeful work look? How does purposeful look in collaboration? Okay, so a question came up. So Laurie, let me ask you a question. As I mentioned earlier, for men, purpose comes in sequence. First purpose, then relationship. For ladies, your gift is the ability to multitask. You can do your purpose and relationship can be simultaneous. It doesn't have to be, but it can be if you choose to do that way. So how does purpose look in collaboration? My initial hit from that right off the bat is that it's rare for couples to be together and then discover purpose together. It's more often that we bring together our own unique purposes that complement each other. That's my initial gut feeling to respond to that. For me, that's kind of what it feels like I want, and what I'm attracting is a partnership with a woman who is in her purpose, that our purposes do in fact align, because one is so much easier. And what's wonderful is we collaborate because we have purposes that align. We know that we're going in. It's like, not only are we sexually compatible, we're purpose compatible. That is a great collaboration. So if a man and woman come together in a relationship and they then decide they want to look for their purpose, it could take them different directions. So purpose comes together in collaboration, but collaboration doesn't always create mutual purpose. That's pretty succinct, and that sums it up, I think. It feels very aligned that way. I mean, again, none of this is global. These are all generalizations. So for some people, this might not be true. Perhaps for some couples, they may have drifted through life and they got married in their early teens or 20s, and they're now discovering their purpose, and it aligns because they're so aligned. The purposeful couple, yes, that could be a whole other conversation. But I feel for the general public, most people, getting clear about your purpose individually and then coming together where your complementary purposes fit together because you know what they are, is much easier. It's like having discovery about what you like and what you don't like. If you both know your purposes are, and those purposes, you share each other's purpose with each other, you go, they fit, much easier to do a relationship. So I'm repeating that again and again, but that seems to be the truth for me. So, yeah. So, hope that answers your question. That's it. That's really my talk. If you missed the beginning, go back and watch the beginning, because I did do a little self-revealing and speak to that. But it's to illustrate and to really explain this point and topic to you. So I trust this was of value to you. Thank you for the comments and responses, by the way. And if you're watching this now in the replay and you want to put any questions or comments in, please put them in below. I will respond later. If it's on YouTube, same thing. You can ask questions there and I'll respond. If you want support and help in this area, please reach out to me. All right? And you're very welcome. Glad you watched, and I hope you get value from this. This is number 95 in my ongoing series. I'm definitely going to number 100. So by the end of the week, I'll be at number 100. After that, I'm not sure yet. But so far, daily broadcasts are working, so I'll be back in tomorrow. As always, take care of yourselves. If you want to watch my previous broadcasts, they're on my business page on Facebook, on my YouTube channel, under Messages from the Masculine, and also on my website, barrysilvey.com, in the video blog. So you can watch all my replays there. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you again another time, and I offer my support and love for you always. Take care. Bye.